Hello everyone, my name is Kirby G with Kirby G's Points and Miles, and today I just wanted to take a few moments to discuss luxury credit cards and what my opinions and views on them are. Now, I really wanted to talk about luxury credit cards today because with the recent changes to the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Amex Platinum card probably being refreshed sometime this month, luxury travel cards are on the mind right now. And I want to just kind of explain how I look at luxury travel cards and, what I want to get out of them. When it comes to a luxury credit card, what I really mean by that is one with a high annual fee. A lot of high annual fee cards out there that some will definitely say are not luxury cards, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to take some of the most popular high annual fee cards from different banks and just kind of compare them and how they would work in my specific scenario. There are a lot of different people all across the world, and for certain people, certain cards will make sense. For me, the American Airlines Executive World MasterCard doesn't really work for me, but for others, that Admiral Club access is extremely important, and that basically pays for the card itself. So there are a lot of different strokes for different folks. And for me personally, I need to get outsized value when it comes to a luxury credit card. I don't just need the credits to offset the annual fee. I need to get 2, 3, 4 times the annual fee in value to me. And how do I determine that value? Credits, benefits. Yes, I can do all these calculations to bring in an effective annual fee, but some benefits are impossible to quantify. How much money do I value to lounge access? There are some out there that'll say maybe it's $15 a visit, $30 a visit, $40 a visit, depending on the lounge. And to me, that's too much work. I don't really like math. So it all depends. Credits, I really want to make sure that they fit within my natural spend. And now again, natural spend is another term people throw around, but what do they really mean by natural spend? To me, natural spend is something that I already spent naturally, or, and I'm going to add like a big asterisk here because not everyone includes this, or something that if it shifts my natural spend is done very easily. Now, I'm a big fan of Five Guys, but I don't really see myself eating there as much as I did in college. Part of it's the price, but part of it is when I do go out to fast food, I do kind of stick to 2 or 3 options. But if I had an Amex Gold card, would I go out of my way to go to a Five Guys? Yeah, and I would give 100% value to that credit. So again, different strokes, different folks, different mentalities people have. For me, I'd hit up Five Guys probably the first week of every single month to get my credit, enjoy my heavily discounted meal, and consider that full value. While others would say, well, because you spent $20 at Five Guys versus $15 at Chick-fil-A, that means it's only a $5 credit. Well, those people are lame, so we don't talk about those people. Some might say, Kirby, you're a hypocrite. Correct, yeah, totally. Definitely get it. I justify the credits the way I want to do it, and whatever I feel is kind of the answer. In the very few situations, facts don't care about your feelings, but here, they definitely do. Also, when I go over these credits, I kind of realized that I didn't talk about the global entry TSA credit for any of these cards. So yes, I know they all have them. None of them have any impact on how I value the cards compared to the annual fee. So put in the comments, but I don't care. So let's talk about the luxury travel card I already have, the Delta Reserve. So I got this card by playing the Amex upgrade game. Basically, started with an Amex Gold card. About around my year anniversary, they offered me an upgrade to the Platinum, and then they gave me another upgrade to the Reserve the next year. So part of that upgrade offer was 35,000 miles and a $300 statement credit. So in my mind, I'm really only paying the price of the Platinum card to get the benefits of the Reserve card. Now, I could have maximized this better by applying for each card individually to get more miles, but that really wasn't part of my roadmap. I wasn't really considering those cards, getting multiple Delta cards. So, I'll rock the Reserve for a year. And while I really love this card, as I mentioned in previous videos, Delta is not going to be 100% of my flights anymore. It's probably going to be around 60%, with American Airlines being the other 40% of options for domestic airlines. So, do I really need this card? I really want to keep it, but that's a conversation to have next May when my annual fee hits. So I got some time to deal with it, and I don't really need to think about it right now. I'm not going to go over every single credit here like I will with the next cards, but there's just a lot of opportunities for value with the Delta Reserve card. And I would say that for year one, even if I were to ignore the 35,000 miles Amex gave me, this card pays for itself over and over and over again. So I love this card, and if my travel habits don't change too much, then I'd definitely be keeping this card for a very long time. Alright, so let's take a look at the granddaddy of them all, the Amex Platinum. I'm very aware that this card will probably be refreshed in a couple of weeks. So again, if you're watching this video later on, these credits and annual fee are probably wrong. But again, we're just working through the process here to see if this is a card that works for me. Again, here, there are a lot of credits. There is some hotel status. There is some lounge access, purchase protections, and so much more. I'm not going to list every single benefit of the Amex Platinum card, but what you're going to see here as I hit next on my slide is I'm going to look at every single credit, and if that credit is green, that means I accept full value. Yellow is partial. I'm not going to break down every single, I only value Uber Cash at $100 instead of $200. I'm not going to get that deep into the weeds. I did the math off to the side. I'm not going to bore you on the slide here. And red means I attribute zero value to this credit. So let's do what the Amex Platinum has for me. So as you see here, partial credit to the airline incidental, definitely take the hotel credit, clear, partial, because I wouldn't pay $199 for clear, but would I pay $50 for clear? Okay, yes, then I'll attribute $50 worth of clear. Some people kind of say that all or nothing game. Again, this is what math I decide to use, and it's definitely made up. So again, this is just an exercise. Don't read into it too deep. But again, let's continue. Entertainment credit, I have a VC box. If you don't know what that is, definitely look into it. I basically have every streaming service. I have everything on live TV. If I want to watch Survivor, I can watch Survivor. If I want to watch Australian Survivor, I can still watch it. Look into it. It's definitely something I recommend people buy. I spent $250, and now I don't have to pay for a streaming service ever again. Uber Cash, partial, Walmart Plus. I wouldn't pay $155 from Walmart Plus, but I do shop at Walmart, and for a certain price, maybe I would pay for it. Again, Saks, no one cares about that. Then how do I quantify hotel status, lounge access? Let's take a look here. So with a $695 annual fee, I feel like the credits conservatively pay for about $600 of that annual fee. So basically, I am prepaying $695 to earn $600 in credits. That sounds pretty lame to me. But what about the rest of the benefits the Amex Platinum card offers? Do I value all of the perks and benefits? Would I pay $95 for all of the benefits that the Amex Platinum gives? Yeah, I would. If you said Kirby, Hilton Gold, Marriott Gold, all the purchase protections. And again, I'm not really going to talk about the multipliers here because for most of the cards, they don't really matter. But, 5x on travel is pretty good. Yeah, I'd pay $95 for that. Okay, well, that only equals the annual fee. Now, would I pay $100, $200? Again, those questions are things that I have to think about. So do I value all of the benefits and credits of this card enough to get the card? For me and my lifestyle, not right now. I'm 26 years old, and while I could definitely do a smash and grab for the Platinum, maybe find $150,000 or 150,000 MR point offer on this card, and get the points and cancel after a year, yeah, I could do that. But is this card a mainstay in my setup for where I'm at in my life right now? No. Could I make the math work and justify it? Yes. But that's not really why I want a luxury travel card. I really want lounge access, so I do value that a lot. But at the same time, prepaying $695 for the credits that I have to use, and I won't say go out of my way to use, but partially get out of my way to use, the juice isn't worth the squeeze there. And while I do run a complex credit card setup, I really don't, because I only use the one card I'm working on a sign-up bonus on for. So are the perks for this card, worth it to me? And right now, they're not. Will they be later in my life? Probably. Now let's look at the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and holy crap, there are a ton of credits that are very quantifiable here. So again, I will not go over each individual credit right here, right now. So again, let's look. For a $795 fee, how many credits do really work for me? All right, travel credit, yes. Edit credit, partial. Dining credit, partial. Apple TV and Apple Music, no. Don't use that. Apple's for weenies and sheep. DoorDash promos, partial. It's kind of hard to use, but I already have Dash Pass. Maybe I can stack that with my CSP now that there's no one sapphire rule. I probably get, $20, $30, maybe $50 out of that. Who knows? StubHub credit. I live in Southern California. I love sports. I will definitely be using this twice a month if I had the card. So full value. Lyft. I probably use Lyft like 9 out of the 12 months. When I do use Lyft in a month, I use it a lot for traveling to and from the airport. When I'm not traveling, I don't really go out to bars and clubs like that. It's not really my style. Maybe every once in a while, but again, I'd rather drive and just maybe have one drink before driving home and making sure I'm sober. But I don't know. Partial credit, Peloton credit, no. Lounge Access does have some good lounge networks, and Priority Plus is something I'm looking for right now. IHG Platinum, I already have that, so purchase protections, cool. So for $795 annual fee, I probably get about $1,000 worth of credits from this card that I, feel confident I can say that $1,000 in value I can get, plus everything else. So it kind of sounds like a no-brainer, doesn't it? I'm getting $200 in value from credits that are more than the annual fee, plus everything else the Sapphire Reserve has to offer. Why am I not applying for this card right now? I just don't want to. I don't want to pay $800 for this card. I would say it is, much closer to working for me than the Platinum right now. But I don't know. If they had like a 200,000 point sign-up bonus, I'd probably go for it. And I am at 524 right now. So is it worth waiting to get this card? I don't think so. I'd rather just get some other 70,000 point sign-up bonuses on maybe a $95 annual fee and just go from there. So again, maybe later in my life, if I want to go full on to Chase and when I'm not working up sign-up bonuses every month of the year, CSR could be there, and maybe I just spend 2 years only getting business cards so I can fall under 524 and get this card again. Maybe, but right now, it's not for me right now. All right, let's look at the Citi Strata Elite, a card that just came out swinging right now with an American Airlines transfer partners, which sounds amazing. So $595 annual fee and a couple credits. Not a bunch of credits, which I thank Citi for, but let's see. How do I value those credits? Hotel credit, $300. I don't care. It's a 2-night minimum. I can find a fairly cheap hotel, spend 2 nights through the portal, and make it work. I'm not going to. In my natural travel habits, this credit works for me. The Splurge credit, I think, is pretty easy to use. It's kind of a weird credit when I looked into it. But again, do I go to Best Buy? I think is one of the categories. Am I going to pay cash on an American Airlines flight? Probably. So, whatever. Splurge credit, it's kind of interesting. So full credit. Black Lane, nope, not going to use that. So $0. Priority Pass, definitely want one of those. At 4 Animals Club passes is probably a good number for me. I don't necessarily need that, but that'd be nice. Does have some strong multipliers, a lot of 3x categories, 1.5 catch-all, and American Airlines as a transfer partner, which is awesome. So again, are all of the benefits worth $95? On first look, I'm not too sure, but if I do go fully into American Airlines, the Citi Strata Elite might be a luxury travel card I actually go with on top of Delta. I can maybe rock those two as my only, annual fee cards for the most part. I don't think that's going to be the case, because a lot of the Citi Strata Elite purchase protections are still kind of up in the air, and what travel protections it has, I'm not too sure about. And CSR is kind of the king of travel protections. If the Citi Strata Elite kind of matches that might kind of again maybe bring me around to Citi. I don't really have any Citi cards right now, so if maybe I pair this with a Citi Strata card, I can kind of rock that as my main points currency boosters when I'm not working on a sign-up bonus. So even though the credits don't really offset the annual fee for me, it's something to consider. And there's a Capital One Venture X, the simplest of all the premium travel cards. It's only $395, $300 travel credit, and 10,000 bonus points. Super easy to get full value. Lounge access. If I could get pre-approved for this card, I'd apply for it right now. Even though I'm already working on a sign-up bonus, I'd apply for it right now and just find a way to make it work. Put my rent on it and take out the sign-up bonus that way. If I could have the Capital One Duo as my main setup, I would have it, and I wouldn't need any of these other premium travel cards, but I just cannot get pre-approved. And I know every time I say I can't get pre-approved, I preface with the fact that I could just apply for this card and try it out. I guess I'm just a little whiny baby because I haven't done it yet. I probably will at some point after I finish up this sign-up bonus. Maybe I just try for it, and when I get my triple hard pull denial, I cry. But this card easily has a negative $5 effective fee for me. I know some people will push back on that, but the $300 travel credit and the 10,000 points, I can get more than $100 worth of value out of those 10,000 points, and it is a nice way to always make sure I have some Capital One miles. As I mentioned again many times, I have 242 Capital One miles right now, so an extra 10,000 points would kind of get me more motivated to spend it on those cards, where, again, I can stack some Capital One offers with some maybe tour guides through Viator or Get Your Guide, and really rack up points that way. But right now, it just doesn't seem worth it. If I had extra 10,000 points, maybe I would. But again, my velocity is too high, and I would rather be cashing in on these 75,000 point bonuses on like a $95 annual fee card. Just do that constantly versus worry about, a luxury travel card. So again, right now for me and my plans, as much as I want this card, I'm not sure it's worth slowing down to get. Then I also did want to throw in a hotel card here, the Hilton Aspire, as IHG and Hilton are my two main hotel chains that I want to focus on. I do really want to kind of get a Hilton credit card here. We'll probably start with a Hilton Honors card or a Hilton Honors Surpass card. The Aspire is definitely that end game strategy. $550 annual fee, and let's look at all these credits. I'd probably, Hilton Resort credit, you had to say Hilton Resorts, and there are a lot of them, so I definitely would at least once a year. And while I definitely could do twice a year, again, I'm on the more conservative side. The flight credit, there are ways to kind of get around this that I probably would use, but again, I'll just do some partial credit here and clear. I would definitely love to have clear, just makes my day a little bit easier, but I wouldn't pay $209 for it. Would I pay, again, $50 for it? Possibly. So again, partial credit here, and then, Hilton Diamond status, and that free night award alone could, offset the entire annual fee. And it has some really good multipliers. Again, Hilton points they're not worth 1 cent per point, but if you want to cherry pick, and I do love me some cherry picking, you can get some really nice value with Hilton points, and if you put your daily spend on Hilton cards, you can come out ahead. So conservatively, $375 in credit value, but does diamond status and the free night make up the difference? And then some? Most definitely. But just right now, again, for me, I am not ready for this card. When I look at the income I have versus the annual fees I'm already paying for cards that I do want to keep, this card just isn't there for me yet. But over the next 2 years, I do expect to have the Hilton, but over the next 2 years, you can definitely expect a Hilton Aspire card in my setup. So in conclusion, luxury credit cards are just not for me right now. Mostly. The Delta card is kind of a different thing. I kind of consider that separate since I did get a statement credit, which kind of offset that annual fee. When I do renew it, there will be a difficult conversation to have with myself. So I do want to be careful adding premium travel credit cards right now because I do not want to have these annual fees just balloon on me. I don't want to pay over $1,000 in credit card annual fees every year. That sounds kind of lame to me. So again, could I afford it? Yes. Do I want to? No. Will I ever carry more than one at a time? Probably, just not right now. In the future, I'd love to have like a Venture X, Saver, Delta Reserve, Hilton Aspire, IHG Business card, as those are my annual fee cards and everything else is a free card, and that is my setup. That sounds amazing to me, but it just might take some time for me to get there. As Capital One is working through the Discover merger, I am hoping that they kind of loosen some of their underwriting rules right now and start, approving me or at least more people for the Venture X. And if I just have to decide, I'm not getting any cards for the next 8 months just so I can see if I can get pre-approved for the Venture X, maybe I do that one day. I'd have to build up some points before I did that, have a nice kind of plan a year out of travel and then just not get any credit cards because I've already spent all my points. Maybe I do something like that to make sure I'm all set, but we'll see. So if you made it this far in the video, I just want to thank you. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like, comment, subscribe. I am so close to 100 subscribers. I would love to hit it by the end of September. Only less than 20 subscribers. It's been a great few weeks for the channel. I just want to thank everyone that is new. If you have any thoughts about my mentality on luxury travel credit cards, feel free to leave them in the comments. I do know some of you are rocking $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in annual fees, and for some people, that works. For me right now, I don't want to spend the money. I'm kind of cheap. So, that'll be me one day, just not right now. We're all at different stages in our life. You right now may be a young college kid who has one credit card, or you're 50 years old and you have 30 credit cards and you are absolutely balling. There are so many different ways to approach the credit card game, and I'm glad that we can all share them here on YouTube. So again, where are you at right now in your credit card journey? Put that in the comments below. Start a conversation. I do my best to reply to all of the comments whenever I see them. Also, if you're in the Anthony Venture Discord, feel free to give me a DM. Let me know what you thought of the video. Give me some notes. Give me some tips. And most importantly, have a great rest of your day.